the class. I really have learned quite a bit. I've had a lot of fun throughout this course, and to run you through my final project, I first wanted to start in CodePen because all of the elements that I used throughout the site I figured out, or I built on CodePen first, and then added them into my project in my code editor after I was done with it. The reason why I do that is so that I can see exactly what I'm doing and get immediate feedback over here, which is really nice. That way you don't have to save the file and then push it and then go refresh the browser. It eliminates all of that back and forth. So I just wanted to show you a few elements. This is my style guide navigation that I built here in CodePen, which is really nice. And then here is where I was working on my buttons. And then this one is my color palette for the style guide. And I really wanted to have this swatch up here just like this. And so it took me a little bit to figure out exactly how to do that. Here on my home page are my two main call to actions. And so you can see as you hover, the background gets darker. This isn't perfect. The whole background, or the background hover state, covers the whole component, even the button. So that's not ideal, but I'll fix that eventually. And then this is the banner where when you first load the page, let's see if I can trigger it. When you first load the page, no, I guess not. You'll see it in a second where the banner will slide in. I wanted to make sure I could get that just right, and it was easy to do that here in CodePen. And then this one is my about page. And this actually is something that I'm going to do after this class, but this is just a modal for the contact page. I'm going to end up taking out the contact page after the class is done and just having a little message icon that lives maybe up here in the main navigation. And when you click it or tap it, then it triggers this overlay and you can send the message this way, because I really don't have any content for my contact page. But here's the contact page, pretty much just like the modal. I slapped in some links over here. It's not the best, but there it is. And this is really cool. This is my, well, I'm calling it my content page, or my content landing page, which has links to like blog posts or project articles, whatever it is. I just wanted to get the layout just right and get all the divs and containers. And if you notice, there's like a nice little hover effect there. And when the image scales, the container is set to overflow hidden. So you don't see it scale outside the container, which is pretty cool. I really love that effect. And here's my article template. Once you click on one of these guys, it takes you into the actual article here, which has this layout. So anyway, that's CodePen. Love CodePen. I'd love to connect with you on CodePen, actually. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so here's my website, my homepage. Here, I'm gonna restart this so you can see the animation as it loads in. Love that. Took me a long time to figure out how to do that, but that's the main thing that I'm excited about having taken this class, is studying those CSS animations and transitions. Was a lot of fun doing that. If you notice, the navigation is sticky to the top there, and it's just slightly transparent. You can kind of see the content underneath there, but just love it. And this page actually is done for now. I know it says more stuff coming soon, but I'm just going to add things little by little as I finish out my degree and as I continue working. But here will be my three most recent articles. I've only got one article there right now. But as I do those, or as I publish those articles, they'll automatically show up down here. I'm using some PHP modularization there that pulls that stuff in. And then down here is my call to action that you saw from CodePen. If you click on this, it'll take us to the articles, or actually the projects page. I'll show you that in a second. And then this one takes you to the articles page. I'll probably change this text, because study with a purpose, my studies. Articles are pretty much just going to be what I've learned in school and what I'm like studying independently, but maybe that's not perfectly clear. And then here's my footer. So I've got my style guide, my practice site, and this is a different site for another class. This website's a dual purpose. Here's all my social media links. I'm not a Facebook fan, so you won't find Facebook or Instagram there, but I would love to connect with you on any of these, especially CodePen and GitHub. I think those are my favorite. All right, so I set this up in the exact same way I have my resume set up. And yeah, it's just a standard kind of setup. These icons actually are SVGs. I created those in Sketch and then exported as an SVG and put them in here, which is pretty cool because at any scale, these will be perfectly crisp and clear. Really love that about SVG. Another thing I like about this page is my hard skills, progress bars. So I've got my skills listed from most skillful to least skillful. Yeah, so anyway, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. All right, and articles. So this is my articles landing page. So as I publish new articles, they'll begin to stack up in here, just like you saw from the demo from CodePen over here. I think it was one of these. There it is. So this guy right there, it'll look like that. But for now, I've only got one article in there. And you can click the article, and it takes you into the article itself. And I've got the date the article was published, the title, just a short little description there, and then of course the article itself. So yeah, and then in the aside over here I have whatever the most recent 3 projects are. I only have one, but it'll populate in here as well when I create projects. But I'll show you that project here in a second. Let's go to the projects page. This is set up just like the articles landing page. As I build in products, or as I add in projects, they'll build in here. Let's look at the projects page. All right, so I didn't put a date on the projects. I didn't necessarily want a potential client or employer or someone to come look at a date and then be like, oh, he did that 2 years ago. That's no longer valid. Or oh, he just did that last week. You know, he doesn't have anything better to do. I don't know. I've got a lot of psychological reasons why I don't want to include the date there, but valuable or not valuable, who knows. So it's set up a lot like the article page, but the only difference is in the aside over here, I have the client logo and some details about the project. And then, of course, include lots of pictures and kind of progress, or how you progress through the project. If you're taking art classes, you're probably familiar with the Behance project posts. I just kind of modeled this after what we're doing there. I'm glad to have learned a good way to present projects through those art classes. And then finally, the contact page, which I'm not incredibly proud of. It is kind of boring, but one thing I do like is this form. There's some hover states in here, and then when you click into it, there's supposed to be a tiny little darker outline here. I'll have to look into that. But it's got some form validation, so if you try and submit it without it being filled out, it'll validate some things for you. Even if you don't get the email just right, it'll still tell you, hey, you got to enter an email address, which is pretty cool. Love that. And one final thing here is on the, well, I won't get into that. These are just links to my social media accounts. But yeah, that's my website. I had a lot of fun building this site and working on it. I think I was a little too ambitious, spent way too much time on this project, but it was a lot of fun. I didn't want to stop. I just kept wanting to add in more transitions and hover states and different things. But enjoyed talking with all of you this semester and looking at your work and getting to know you. And hopefully I'll see you in some more classes.